Yeah, people are getting sick again. It's that time of the year. The flu, RSV, COVID-2. My next guest, Dr. Peter McCullough, is the Chief Scientific Officer at the Wellness Company, joining me here now. Doctor, good to have you back on the program.
Thanks for having me.
For the first time in a while, I actually know a couple of people that have COVID right now. I'm not terribly concerned about it, but I bring it up because it's something we're going to be dealing with going forward. And I want to ask you about some things. You told me in the break you're going to be testifying in front of Congress here about the vaccine and so forth. And I played some things for people on the program here. I played some things from a conference that was held in Romania here a few weeks ago, where they had the graphs of the all-cause mortality and how it spiked following the release of the vaccines from the different companies. And their conclusion from all the numbers from all the countries and all the extrapolation they can come up with is 17 million people died globally, roughly, in their estimation. From when you put out billions of vaccines, 17 million was their takeaway. Does that strike you as shocking? Does it strike you as believable? What do you make of that? I know you spent a lot of time looking at Anthony Fauci and the vaccines and all the things related to COVID. What do you make of such a claim?
The adjective is catastrophic. It's a catastrophic biological safety disaster, these vaccines. That the number was derived from a paper that was published by Dennis Rancourt from Canada. And it's an ecological analysis that implies the vaccines have backfired. Instead of saving lives, they've cost lives. And in the United States, our CDC is admitting to over 18,000 Americans have died after the vaccines. People have reported this in. They think the vaccines caused the death. That's underreported, probably 30 to 1. So in the United States, we're approaching 600,000 American lives lost with the vaccine. Of the 18,000 the CDC has recorded, 1,150 happened right in the vaccine center or a few hours afterwards.
So 600,000 is the number you're looking at, caused directly by the injection, this experimental application of mRNA technology. However, in the United States only, I got it. So 17 million is a number that you believe is credible, right? That's what you're telling us.
17 million globally, 600,000 Americans. I think those should be the numbers we should work with. These are catastrophic. This is worse than a war. This is not a minor side effect or a minor issue. There are calls to pull these vaccines off the market now for a long time from the World Council for Health, the Association of American Physicians and Surgeons. I've made the call in the U.S. Senate, European Parliament. Now Florida Surgeon General Joe Ladapo says pull them off the market. They're not safe.
Yeah, so let me ask you this. Here's a question that comes up often, and you're the person to ask the question too. For people that got the first 2 doses and then didn't go back after that because they caught on that this was not something they wanted to do, but they did the first 2 because they thought it was the right thing, and the propaganda was massive, and there are millions of people in that category, and they survived. It's been, 2-3 years now. What is their situation now? They didn't die a few hours later. They didn't die. They're not one of the 600,000. What would their situation be today if they had gotten a couple of jabs and it's been a couple of years?
We have to go back to the symptoms at the time of getting the jab. There's a paper by Schmeling and colleagues, very well supported from Denmark, showing that about 30% of people have 0 side effects. They never will have side effects. It's as if they got essentially nothing. Then about another 70% have have some minor side effects, and then it's a small number, less than 10% in most studies, where all the problems are. And so the vast majority of people who have taken the shot are fine, but everybody should go back and ask themselves, did they get sick, with the initial injection, pain in the arm, fever, chills, other constitutional symptoms? Fortunately, most people are in the free and clear, and we're focusing on a small percentage. But because such a huge number of people took the vaccines, that's the reason why we're still coming up with these very large numbers of cardiovascular, neurological, thrombotic, and immunological injuries.
Right, because even if it's 10%, that group is a large group here in the country. It's a much larger group around the world, of course. 2024 is a year to take care of ourselves and take control of our health care. And as I hear you talk about this, I know at the Wellness Company, there is a a medication, I don't know if I want to call it a medication, a treatment for the spike protein. If people took the vaccine and they're in a position now, they say, well, gosh, I wish I hadn't done that. They don't have to just sit there and do nothing. There is something they can do, correct? There
is. Now, 2 peer-reviewed papers that I've spearheaded make the proposal of what's called McCullough protocol base spike protein detoxification. This is featured by the Wellness Company as the ultimate spike detox. And what this is using natural products to help dissolve this accumulated spike protein in the body. We have very good preclinical data for nattokinase and bromelain, and we actually have clinical data, including randomized trials for curcumin. These 3 should be used in combination for people who've had multiple episodes of COVID and or taken the vaccines and have had some symptoms, because we're worried, Steve. I'm seeing in my practice blood clots arise 2 years later after the shots, big ones. Cardiac arrests 2 years after the shots. It's because the spike protein is still in the body from the shots. We have to get it out.
Yeah, have to clean yourself up. So take control of your health. And look, the Wellness Company has not only a treatment for the spike protein, it has an emergency medical kit that has all sorts of things. That has ivermectin, the Z-Pack, a series of things, antibiotics, antivirals, antiparasitics, and a 20-page book to explain how to use all of these things. Don't get caught flat-footed is the lesson here, doctor. Be prepared. We got about 20 seconds. How good is this kit in your estimation?
The kit's essential. I just had somebody near 90 years old get through the JN1 variant on the COVID kit. So people should have a COVID kit and then the general medical emergency kit. Let's not be caught flat-footed.
Yeah, twc.health/Gruber, and you can save some money on it today. TWC for the Wellness Company, twc.health/Gruber. Dr. Peter McCullough, we need to have you back sometime. We can talk more in detail about all this, because I've got questions lined up here on social media. People have a ton of questions, and you've got a lot of great answers, sir. You're testifying on Friday. We look forward to that in front of Congress, and we'll hear more. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Greatly appreciated, man. Goes fast, doesn't it, when you're getting great answers? You know, I keep looking at these, and this number popped up at the top of the program, was sent over to me today. And I look at this, and I look. There's a reason Michelle Obama's hair is on fire. There's a reason David Axelrod is panicked. Yeah, there is a reason that the Democrats are going, what do we do? Joe Biden can't make it. Well, you know, I look at these numbers from Michigan where Donald Trump, in a poll done by the Detroit News and the NBC affiliate WDIV, has Donald Trump up 47 to 39%. It's a runaway in Michigan right now. A key swing state, to say the least. Michigan lost one electoral college vote between 2020 and 2024, but it's a key swing state. And, you know, these kind of numbers have the entire Democrat team in panic, which is why they're working very hard to get abortion on the ballot in Arizona, Nevada, and Pennsylvania, among other places, right? They are. They hope that abortion on the ballot will drive voters from the left to the polls, like has been done in Michigan and Ohio. Michigan and Ohio are done, though. They move on. It's not available to do anymore. So they're going to try to get those key swing states. But if they lose Michigan and Wisconsin and Georgia, which I think Donald Trump wins those states, the Democrats are out. That's the point that I'm making. The Democrats are out, and so therefore they're just freaking out. As well they should be. It's been an abject failure, all of it. We call it the Biden administration, but it's been a complete failure. You know that, and I know that. I mean, what can you point to and say, well, they did well here? Where? Nowhere. By the way, I appreciate you supporting the wellness company. Another way to stay healthy is to take your vitamins with Healthy Cell. I take my spike protein supplement from the wellness company. I also take my vitamins. HealthyCell.com, microgel formula vitamins made in America. You want good vitamins that are made in America, not in China, not in some factory across the world. No, in America. HealthyCell.com. Promo code Gruber. Save 20% on your first order. It's microgel, immune boost, REM sleep. It's all there. Look it up while we're in the break. I'll be back. Don't go anywhere.